Watching right now on Twitch.
I was just gonna let Jay-Z continue rolling there. Hi everybody, good evening, and welcome Razor, Chaotix, Higher Peanut. We're here on Don't Panic Flip, and we have several remote streamers here in with us this evening. We've got Dance Panda, aka Janelle. Hi Janelle, how are you doing?
I'm well. I'm still awake, even though it's very dark in my room right now.
Okay, very dark in Janelle's room. We've also
listening to the smooth stylings of that sexy saxophone.
There is a very sexy saxophone, which is funny because in some music you can actually turn up the saxophone reverb, and it's called it's turning up the sex factor that Scott Denisi has talked about, I think, a few times as he's referenced it. Oh, we've got a sub. Chaotix coming in hot, throwing a primer our direction.
You must be a billionaire if you're wasting your money watching
R.I.P.
someone else.
Gilbert. And and iSkidoo just joined us. iSkidoo, welcome to the stream as we're doing introductions right now.
Sorry, I was having some Discord issues, and I kept trying to open it, and it didn't seem to respond. So I went into my task manager, and I had like 17 instances of it open, but none of them were responding.
That might explain why there was issues. Well, welcome, and I hope you're ready for a whole bunch of questions tonight. And as soon as we finish intros, I'm going to jump right into the first one. I'm kind of excited. It's this whole book full. Or page, I should say, full of questions. We also have Dice, aka I Only Seek Eurydice. Dice, how are you doing this evening?
Hey, bonjour, everyone. How's it going? I'm doing well. I've currently got a lovely pink lemonade and vodka.
Oh, man, that sounds awesome. I am drinking... Actually, our last guest came up with this drink. Joe Hills, how are you doing this evening?
Howdy, George. I'm doing super fantastic, excellent well. Thank you for asking.
Wow, you seem very chipper. Excited to have everybody here this evening. Joe, this is another one of the Sundrop mixed with iced tea vodka, or sorry, sweet tea vodka.
Oh, those are so good. It is
so good.
happy to blast.
Yeah, this drink is happening on the reg now. So introductions done. We'll see if anybody else joins us later. But the first question for tonight, which I'm so excited about, is, oh, by the way, Chaotix, thank you very much for those bits. That is appreciated. And the throwing the primer our direction as well. You were awesome. Welcome to the Panic Room, ad-free viewing for at least some amount of time more, and some pretty cool emotes, if I don't say so myself. If I do say so myself, could I actually use
They
the
might
right
even
words?
be considered show-eat.
Those sweet emotes, yes. Okay, first question. We gotta turn the music down for this one. What kind of system to choose a president would be better than our current system? And I wanna throw out a suggestion first. And there are obviously ways that you could answer this and have it be legitimate if you'd want to. I'm looking more for fun systems. And for example, I was gonna throw out a Hunger Games like week or however long it takes to, winnow our ways down to just one survivor. And the cool thing about that is campaign contributions become a totally different thing if we were to go to a Hunger Games style survival mechanism to choose a president.
So is that because the campaign contributions would be manifested as like you can send in drones with like here's like 3 protein bars and some bandages or something?
Exactly. And you could do a really cool thing with like charity where it doesn't actually cost a lot, and the majority of those contributions, like a candy bar would cost $1 million or something, and the rest of that would go off to actually help with real things, and then you drone in the candy bar. Or it might be $30 million to get a weapon of some sort or something like that. And the majority of that, once again, goes to helping the country do something. And then the very small amount to go with like I was imagining a bow and arrow just because I said Hunger Games. But that's not horribly expensive when you're talking about millions of dollars in donations.
I'm curious if that would give the winner even more of a god complex than the president already does have.
Valid concern.
What did they do in Idiocracy? Did they have a monster truck rally? No, that was the
celebration, right?
That was the Library of Congress. No, or that was on Shores. Oh, I can't remember. It was a monster truck rally. I can't remember. He was a WWE wrestler. He was he was a wrestler. That's how he won. It was a wrestling match.
Chaotix throwing out, if you did a Hunger Games style, it would guarantee a president under 40 at least. Older people wouldn't make it. So there's a way to push in the younger generation. I think the minimum now is
maybe
35. Is that the minimum age where you can apply to be a president?
Yeah, so that means you could apply to be president soon, George.
Oh, I'm 4 years over that. I will be 40 this year.
I'm just, you're so youthful.
Thank you.
I would have them do the debates during an episode of Hot Ones.
Oh, interesting. And they have to finish, right?
Yes.
Hold on a sec. We got another sub. Mr. Hardluck has a god complex, but it's Dionysus.
You must be a billionaire if you're
Wasting your money watching someone else play pinball. Mr. Hardluck, you're amazing. My hats off to you. Thank you so much, and welcome. Hans ATX doesn't want drama with their politics. Completely understand. It's funny, just to jump back on the Hot Ones, I finally started watching Hot Ones episodes start to finish. And the episode that got me on it was, oh my God, the guy who played the big purple guy from Avengers, Josh Brolin.
Oh, that was a recent one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grimace, right?
Grimace?
Yeah, from the event, the big purple guy.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know who Grimace is. I feel like I missed out on that quote.
Oh, sorry. No, so McDonald's had a bunch of brand mascots. They couldn't just have a clown. They needed to have like a whole thing with like mayor or whatever and the Hamburglar.
The Hamburglar.
The Hamburglar.
Mayor
Wait, was there a
McCheese.
big purple triangle or something like that?
It's not
Yes.
quite a triangle, but
was
it's more like
ovular.
it's close.
Like a blob.
A blob.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's more like one of those jelly sweets. It's like a gummy, like it's like rounded at the top.
He looked like a purple potato.
Okay, my
Okay.
dryer just turned off already. See, I'm vindicated in not going to bed despite being incredibly tired
Yes.
because my dryer has randomly turned off.
And what you don't want is to wake up to clothing that then has to be washed all over again with that special formula stuff to help get the moldy smell out of it.
Exactly. I'm being a responsible adult by staying up and drinking, so that way my kid can have clean masks tomorrow morning.
Responsible
Good
adulting.
answer. Good answer.
I feel, what was it?
Janelle said they should choose president by way of the Amazing Race.
Okay, someone's gonna have to give me the minute thing about the Amazing Race because I've never watched it, but I've heard quite a bit about the Amazing Race.
You watched every episode of The Big Bang Theory, but you didn't tune in beforehand to watch The Amazing Race.
Well, I never watched Big Bang Theory on television. I haven't had cable in, I'm guessing, 15 years. I went without television for a while, and then
So you
came back
actually
and
had to
started.
go out of your way to watch it.
Yes,
I
I
just
own.
watched it because it was on.
I think everything on Apple. So I have, I think the first 3 seasons on DVD, and then everything else is all digital content. This
The
week on
Amazing Race
explaining.
is like a giant scavenger hunt that can go across multiple countries and have like people can help each other out, and it's just like a giant scavenger hunt where you're made up of teams and there's clues that lead you, and you can go really off course where you have to take planes and taxis and Ubers and hot air balloons, and you have to eat weird things. And
is there
so,
like, if you are rich and in the Amazing Race, do you get a leg up in that you just have unlimited funds to fly around and do whatever you want?
no, because your ticket can be your clue. Like once you answer your clue, you get your ticket.
Got it. So everyone's clues and the things that they have to do are catered to them to hopefully not give them a leg up?
Well, it's been a while since I've seen it.
I've never seen it, but it sounds like if you solve the riddle, they'll give you the most efficient way to get to wherever you're going anyway. So if you had all the money in the world, you could buy a ticket to anywhere, but you wouldn't know where you were supposed to go regardless, is my guess.
Right.
Okay. Razor's pointing out Peeps race through challenges. Chaotic saying Cannonball Run for the presidency. That is a movie I have seen where you're racing cars. Higher Peanut throwing out skydiving chicken presidency. How much do you really want it? And oh, whoa. So QDL, hi, welcome. Says, can we use Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego to pick the president so we can at least make sure they know their geography? I kind of like that idea
a lot. I like that idea a lot, Queen Darkly, because I was trying to think, I was like, what kind of game demonstrates an understanding of others and compassion? And I couldn't figure out the compassion part, but at least like with geography, it gives you some basic foundation for having an understanding of others. You have a starting point at least. It's not just like Burma. Where's Burma? Is that in Canada? I never had those French fries with the gravy on it. I don't got time for that. Just give me some French fries and a cup of gravy. I don't know.
All I hear in my
Kind
head
of
is
where I was going.
there was once
go
a
ahead.
thief in Burma.
There once was a what in Burma?
There once was a thief in Burma. He stole a ruby the size of a grapefruit.
I don't know that reference.
You didn't see Dark Knight?
I did see Dark Knight, like Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight?
Yeah. When Michael Caine is explaining the Joker's chaoticness, there once was a thief in Burma who stole a ruby the size of a grapefruit.
In George's defense, it was in like 2008 or so.
Right.
Yeah, and also, like, I don't blame George for being like, wait,
shit,
Christopher
Sammy
Nolan's
Higgins
The
is in
Dark
here with
Knight?
218 people.
Woo, Sammy!
Whoa, Sammy, bringing 218 beautiful people over into the stream. Sammy, you are amazing. My hat's off to you. Thank you. Wow. And
Hello.
Loser, and Sammy is in the chat. Sammy, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
What an overachiever.
Those are friends of Joe's who came to hang out with me for a little while, and now we're going to come hang out with you.
Oh my God, thank
and
you so much.
I'm still here.
And you're still here.
And Joe is still
Yeah,
here.
because I'm.
You're still conscious.
Well, no, because my dryer has it turns off arbitrarily when you turn it on. And so I've been standing near the dryer, turning it back on every time it turns off. So I have to be awake anyway. Might as well hang out with George, have a glass of wine and chat,
Yeah, sounds... I'm confused by your dryer situation, but I'm sorry to hear
it's been doing this. It started doing this right at the beginning of the pandemic, and I'm like, I really don't want to have somebody come into my house to try and fix my dryer. And if they break it worse, I don't want to go to a laundromat. So I've just been dealing with the fact that my dryer arbitrarily turns off somewhere between 3 and 10 times every time I cycle it. Whatever, it's fine. People have bigger problems than that.
Are you able to turn off the irritating buzz when it completes?
Yeah, I don't have that on.
Okay, good. I recently purchased one, and I don't have the ability to turn that off. It has to do it at least once.
What?
Yes. Brand new. There is no ability to turn off the alarm. All I can do is say, don't do the wrinkle thing afterwards, so that way it buzzes once every 5 minutes and it'll do it for an hour, I think is the minimum.
Now
Did
we
you
get
buy
Sammy's take on the first question, and then you should probably start playing, George. It's been 20 minutes.
Sure, that's
and also,
right.
You said you had a lot of questions tonight, so we might need to keep moving as soon as Sammy answers to get to question 2.
Wait.
Excellent point.
What about me?
And I ski
Oh,
do as well.
I've been patiently waiting
You had
here.
your chance.
I've been patiently waiting here.
I Skittish should go first.
Okay, my idea for picking the president is like a week of Jeopardy. They all have to compete on Jeopardy, and whoever ends up at the end of the week can go like to Tournament of Champions, and we'll pick them. No.
Okay.
So Ken Jennings will be our president.
No. They have to be running.
Okay. So they have to. Well, but it may make people who would kick butt at Jeopardy potentially run. I kind of like that.
Wait, so does this choose the president, or is this just the primary process where whoever does the best at Jeopardy is who we vote on at the end?
We can do both.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
both
I like
parties
this.
can have
I'm sorry.
run up, and then they can have the finals.
Deal breaker is Wheel of Fortune.
I don't know why, but I feel like Wheel of Fortune is actually kind of perfect for that.
My first idea was a Facebook poll, but
I do. Before Sammy, you end up going. I've got to catch up. Sammy, you're amazing. Thank you so much for that raid. Also, Kandalis has subscribed for 2 months now. Kandalis, thank you very much for that sub. Sammy Higgins, once again, coming in with a sub at 3 months. Thank you very much. And New Jersey Coffee Junkie also subscribing at tier 1 for 3 months. Everybody, my hat's off to you. Thank you. Welcome to the Panic Room. Enjoy the Shawit emotes. Dice, thank you. And ad-free viewing.
Okay, Sammy's turn.
Sammy, you are up.
Sammy doesn't know the question. I kind of have a vague sense of what the question was, but...
Let me ask that question again. It is, what kind of system to choose a president would be better than our current system?
Okay. The only people that can run are people that don't actually want to run but are nominated by other people because they think they would be good. But they can't just be like a celebrity or something like that. It's got to be like a group of people that choose somebody that's like does community organizing or does something like selfless that like has characteristics of a good leader but doesn't want power.
Okay. That's with that idea that only the people who don't want power are worthy of actually having it.
I like it. It's the Abnegation faction theory from Divergent. I like it.
Thank you. I was thinking it was the gray color from that book series.
That is Abnegation.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's also an element of this that's kind of resonates with the Taoist concept of the sage being someone who is selected because they would be good at that job, but that's not necessarily the job that they would be best at or enjoy most, right?
Right.
You know, somebody who's good at other things might make a great leader because in the back of their head, they're like, I just got to run this country well enough I can hand it off to somebody else and then I can go back to being a musician.
Okay, I really like that. Okay, next question. Before we continue playing here is number two. Related though. What cartoon character would you most like to date?
Ooh.
That's an interesting one because I'm
going to take this opportunity to step away for a couple minutes. I need a quick break.
Okay, cool. Sammy,
Smart
thanks
move.
again. Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out how to phrase that, but you stole my answer, Sammy.
Emily and Dr. John immediately jumping on Jessica Rabbit. Knew that one was coming at some point. Got 2 Jessica Rabbits right away.
I mean, has anybody here seen the MTV show Daria?
Yes.
I think Jane from Daria, except like, you know, my age, you know, like it seemed like she was like on a good trajectory in terms of like, even though she was dissatisfied with a lot of things, she was always cultivating her talent as an artist. She was skeptical, but not pessimistic the way Daria was. I don't know. If I was going to be a cartoon character worth dating, I would want to be like her. maybe that's how I'm answering that question.
I actually really like that. That's fairly well thought out. In the meantime, we have Smurfette from I Ski Doo, 7 of 9. I'm not familiar with on Red Viper. And
I don't think it's a cartoon character.
If it's not a cartoon character, what is it?
It's a character played by Jerry Ryan on the UPN show Star Trek Voyager.
Isn't she the one with the thing on her eye?
Yeah, it's a Borg transplant.
Super busty, blonde.
I know exactly who you're talking about now. She's real and on Picard. Okay. Razor's going with the granny from Tweety Bird. And, man, I'm going to try 3 times on this mode right now.
I'm gonna go for a deep cut. I'm gonna take Gwen from Mission Hill.
Mission Hill. I'm not familiar with that one.
It only ran for 1 season, and it was made by a couple of animators that left The Simpsons. But I really wish we would have got more of that show because I loved it.
Okay. Jay-Z, what do you got?
Whoever Kim Basinger's character is from Cool World. Opposite Brad Pitt.
Does she actually turn into a cartoon at the end of that?
She was a cartoon at the beginning of it.
Her name
right.
Hollywood.
Hollywood, okay. Ooh, Sakara, by the way, going with Owl Lady from Owl House, which is played by the character who is in one of the actresses from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I know her voice and I know what she looks like. I have no idea what her name is.
Are you talking about Willow, who's also Allison from How I Met Your Mother? Oh.
Love Willow, yeah. And if she was a cartoon character, I would probably choose her.
Also Michelle from Bandcamp and American Pie.
Yes, same person.
One time at Bandcamp.
Okay, so has anyone
Johnny
here ever...
Bravo?
It's so funny because if I was gonna choose a guy, there's no question it would be Johnny Bravo. I just love that cartoon, and he's so fun. But have you ever seen? Oh my God! Dragon Prince. It's a very interesting cartoon with really unique art on it, and one of the characters is an elf, and absolutely Wendy Malick is the owl lady. Okay, cool. So I would have to go with the main character, one of the main protagonists of Dragon Prince. Once
Did
again,
you say
also
she's an elf or she's an elk?
She is an elf. ELF. Excellent verification though. And yeah, Dragon Prince is awesome, Sakara. Sorry. Okay, so
Piper picking Foghorn Leghorn.
Talk about deep cuts.
Ooh, Mr. Hardlock, Alucard from Netflix's Castlevania. Good pick.
Ooh, that's kind of interesting.
Or Archer. Or Lana.
Ooh, interesting. Lana from Archer.
Lana.
I mean, Lana's kind of a mix. Like, I considered that answer, and I was just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you've seen the later season stuff where she's married to the billionaire, but it's like, oh yeah. I don't have the energy for that.
As soon as they all started dealing with cocaine, they lost me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of thought about answering Pam from Archer, but I don't think she would actually put up with me.
But from which season of Archer? Because I think she is the character that changes most drastically throughout that show.
I mean, yeah, she does change fairly drastically, but like, I mean, she's always kind of a brawler and like just ready to like go, you know, like if somebody starts escalating a situation, she's ready to escalate further.
Right there.
And I don't know. And see, that's the thing, is like one of the things I like about something like that is it's like, that's what I want to do instinctively, and I just want to be told it's okay. Like, if somebody says this is what we're doing now, I want to throw whatever is in my hand on the ground, like glass, a bottle, whatever. Be like, this is what we're doing now. Let's go. Let's go. You know, like.
Okay, now we know Joe really wants to break a glass and just throw down seemingly randomly and not be told he can't do that.
Well, but not necessarily like let's like if the person's like, hey, we're gonna get in a fight, but like, you know, like in the story where Hamilton and his friends are just like, hey, what if we stole a bunch of British cannons? Yeah. What if we stole a bunch of British cannons? Let's go. Like I'm a bad person to be around if you have a lot of ideas, because I am very encouraging and very energetic. The only thing that saves me from myself is how tired I am now that I'm a single parent, because otherwise I would be in trouble all the time.
See, Joe, that is what Timber is about. When I looked up the lyrics,
It's
having a
about
good
stealing
time.
British cannons.
Exactly. Yeah, it's going down. I'm yelling timber.
Better move, you better dance. Night you won't remember.
Did Ski-Doo answer?
What was this question?
What cartoon character would you want to date?
Oh, it is that question still. Okay.
You thought you got away. Sorry.
Sammy,
Yeah, I answered Smurfette.
I thought Ice Kitty was going.
Oh, okay.
I had answered in chat. I said Smurfette.
Smurfette, that's
gotcha.
right.
Because I couldn't think of anything. And
I don't have an answer to this question. I don't really watch cartoons, and I didn't watch a lot of them growing up.
Okay.
My second pick would be Velma from Scooby-Doo.
Ooh, that is a really... I am surprised that did not come up by the... and something else I want to throw out there. Mr. Lance went with Carmen Sandiego. Now...
That's a really good Lancer.
And is that Carmen Sandiego from the 90s game show, or Carmen Sandiego from the Netflix reboot, which was fantastic? Joe agrees, by the way. Velma is absolutely the correct answer.
April O'Neil.
Whoa!
Now, which incarnation?
I can't believe I didn't go with April O'Neil. I'm so disappointed in myself. Joe Ayres says, I retract my previous statement. Ooh, Dance Panda with Captain Planet. That's a really good one, too.
nobody went for like a powerful woman like Wonder Woman.
Is she a cartoon character, though? Like, I mean, she's a comics character that happens to have cartoons about her.
I do want to throw Dragon Prince, the character from Dragon Prince. She's the enforcer. She is the powerful character in the series. I happen to like really strong women, though.
Well, and also, like, both answers I gave, I felt like were relatively strong women. So, I don't know.
Excellent point.
Isn't a comic book just a cartoon that doesn't move quite as fast?
Well, I mean, it depends on how quickly you move the pages.
It's a cartoon that's been storyboarded but not animated.
Dance Panda also throwing out Wolverine. Dance Panda, I don't think Wolverine makes a... I mean, maybe it's just me, but I don't think Wolverine makes a really good person to date.
Good evening, Jedi.
Hi, Jedi.
I mean, you could casually date somebody without it being a committed thing.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Like, you just would like to have Wolverine on your list. I get that.
Here's my boyfriend, he's from Canada, you know? It's like, he's not around very much. Well, he's from Canada, you know? Like,
I can't tell. That might be joke of the night right there, I think.
Entertainment only. What's the other question, G?
Yeah. All right, moving on to question number 3. Let's go back over here. Question number 3 of the night. What is something boring that you are really, really passionate about?
I mean, my answer is obvious. baseball.
There's some people that really enjoy baseball.
Oh, I'm one of them, but objectively, I can agree that it is kind of boring. But you won't be happy to know, but the Rockies have now lost to the Giants 4 times in the last week.
Oh, I'm
They
so
lost tonight.
disappointed.
The Rockies should have just gone right down that beanstalk with the golden goose right away, not poked around.
So something I am really, really passionate about is using the appropriate I versus me. And it's something I'm trying to teach my kid. And it's surprisingly a difficult concept to get across because I try to explain to her how you can say me or I in the sentence, like remove everyone else and just leave the I or me. And that's the appropriate way to do it. And she just doesn't understand why we go to that much effort and why wouldn't it always be me? And the other things to add there would also be the use of espresso or etc. when an unnecessary X or a hard C is added to certain specific words.
Yeah, obviously, et cetera is good enough. And et chesso.
The dryer situation is making Joe sassy. Sassier.
I love it.
I'm always sassy.
I amended it.
I was gonna sell shorts that said "I'm sassy too" on the butt. That was gonna be one of the first pieces of merch that I was gonna roll off the line.
I really like that. Okay, so we've got Devin Crate saying spreadsheets. Mr. Lance saying computer program language design. Interesting. So not the actual programs, but the language itself is something that Mr. Lance finds both boring but is very passionate about. Jedi McMuffin, the act of saying cool whip. Open source software from Joe Air. I'm passionate about people saying would've. That's not how that goes. And baseball puts me to sleep, and I used to work at a pro stadium, says Razor. Okay, we're caught up.
This one's something new I've recently picked up. I've been getting really into competitive drone racing.
Okay.
I caught it on ESPN one day when I was just flipping through. I was laid up on the couch. I wasn't feeling that well. And yeah, I'm like really looking into it, like the different parts you can get and the customization. And if that's a little too niche, I also do really love a good game of chess.
Wait, a really good game of what?
Chess.
Okay.
It's the art of war.
It is. Sure. Dance Panda, do you got anything to add there?
I like anatomy and physiology, psychology, sociology, human interaction. I really like to pay attention to the way people interface with one another, but I don't know if those are boring. Maybe for some people they are. I guess the most boring thing is probably human resource law.
All right, does anybody else feel like, since that's what she does, that's a bit of cheating there?
Well, see, I don't know, because this is my problem, is everything that she's listing, I'm like, oh, but that's really interesting in this way or that way. Like, to me, everything is interesting on some level. And
right.
Like, when people are like, well, is this a good movie or not? I'm always like, well, it was interesting to me, but that might mean it's horrible. But here's why it was interesting. Make your own judgment. Like, I get really excited about, like, everything.
I guess, yeah.
I can't tell what's boring or not. I'm like, ooh, hey, there's a thing on Twitter people are arguing about. Let me pull up the 43-page Supreme Court brief on it, and I'm just going to read this myself because I like primary sources. And other people are like, primary sources are boring. And I'm like, I think they're wrong. But, like, are they? Maybe I'm wrong. Or is it the children who are wrong? I can't tell, George.
It's probably the
Rocks.
children.
Rocks are interesting. There's
Okay.
my thing.
They
Rocks.
are.
Okay.
I wanted to get into geology when I was in college, but I did not have the backup education to support it, so I ended up having to drop it. But I've always found it very interesting.
Yeah, I needed 1 science credit, and I wanted an anaphys or a biology class, and I needed to take a geology class by incident because it was the only thing that was available. And I ended up taking a geology class from like the coolest guy ever. And it just so happens we live in Colorado, which is a very diverse geological place. And I got to learn about, you know, the Great Cretaceous Seaway, and that you can time travel by, you know, millennia by looking at rocks with metamorphic rocks and igneous rocks, and just how crystals are formed and carbon dating, and you know, what rocks are formed around water and acid and stuff like that. And so, yeah, amazing. And all the ways that humans will die based on what rocks are around. So,
Yep.
Rocks.
Oh no, I realized my actual answer to this is worse than the answer I gave earlier about the Supreme Court.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go on. Are you sure you want to know?
Well, now we have to.
Okay, so I've been listening to podcasts and reading things written by like modern day priests talking about how there's this weird retroactive traditionalist movement in the Catholic Church where they're reacting to the failures of Vatican II by trying to reclaim the glory days after the Council of Trent, which was originally created to like oppose the Protestant Reformation, rather than addressing the problems of our modern era, and how basically it's just become this weird cosplay festival of Latin and incense rather than engaging with reality. And like there's just all these priests who are like, I spent all this time studying this thing from 300 years ago, and all these people want to cosplay it, and I don't know how to feel. What do I do?
You're talking about the Canon of Trent?
The Council of Trent. So, it was actually held in like. The weird thing is Trent is actually derived from the word trident. So it's like Tridentium. It's this city where they had this council where they were going to evaluate everything that happened in the Reformation and try to address it as best they could. And a bunch of the things that people associate with the Catholic Church in the last 300 years were decided at the Council of Trent, like consolidating everything in Latin and certain things about all this different stuff. But like, once again, this is not interesting to normal people, but like, I'm just looking at the parallels between the priests who are like, wow, these people are really getting into this post-Council of Trent stuff and I don't know what to do about it. And like, people who are like, you know, I like Star Wars a lot, but there's some people who are really into Star Wars and it's getting weird, y'all. What do I do? Like, I just want to talk about Star Wars novels, but like, man, these people like Star Wars novels too much.
The chat seems behind you, Joe. They really want to hear more about this. And Jedi would like to know what the podcast is.
Also, VP Fiends, all good. And also, +1 to G Black for Geology Rocks.
Well, okay, yeah, so I'm wary of recommending things like in media where like I disagree with the hosts about 90% of the stuff because I don't necessarily want to amplify their other messages, right? Like I listen to them because I'm interested in how they're struggling with some interesting problems, not because I want people to seriously consider their points of view on a lot of other things. And so I'm going to refrain from making that suggestion, if you don't mind.
So you'll never recommend the Joe Rogan Experience?
No, I literally would never recommend the Joe Rogan Experience. I have no interest in it. I thought he was Seth Rogen for a while, and then you're like, no, he's not even Seth Rogen. And I'm like, oh, well, then I'm less interested. I have no.
And then their laugh was completely different. He didn't give you the laugh.
It's a very different.
Sorry,
But if you are looking for more Seth Rogen, I actually just finished listening to his, it's the audiobook version of the book he put out last year. It's called Yearbook. Really good.
I think you've actually mentioned that a few times now.
Yeah, I read it, and I was doing some work around the house today, and I was listening to his audiobook, and I finished it. It was really good.
Cool.
But he's also just someone I find really fascinating.
This is not Joe Rogan, but Seth Rogen. Just
yes, as a highly productive member of Hollywood who is also a very frequent traveler of the green, he's a very fascinating individual to me.
Okay.
He might actually be on par to set a Guinness World Record for having the world's largest collection of vintage ashtrays.
What?
Yeah. Just over the years, he's been collecting vintage ashtrays.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Like from when airplanes had them, like those Delta Airline ashtrays. There's ones from Disney World. So I guess that's something that ties into boring hobbies. I've also recently been looking into vintage ashtrays just because there's so many of them.
Okay. Vintage ashtrays.
What is your answer for this, Ice-Ski?
I tend to like technical stuff. I read a lot about electronics and gadgetry and tech. A lot of people just find that totally boring, but I'm always like, I used to like take electronics in school for a couple years, and then I did remote starts for a long time, and then I go on this forum online and I answer questions. People have questions, like people are like do-it-yourself people trying to install their first remote starter in their car, and they have questions, and I'll do my best to like listen to what their issue is and try to guide them in the right direction. Just weird stuff like that. Other people would just be so bored by that, but I can spend like hours on that website and just waiting for people to come on and ask for help with something. And
cool.
also I'm into wireless, Wi-Fi, anything like related with the wireless realm. I'm always trying to learn about different technologies and spectrum, all that different stuff. And most people find that ridiculously boring.
No, Jedi McMuffin's right up there with you. I know he spent a couple of weeks doing some serious investigation into wireless. But that's
you've
Jedi
got some
McMuffin.
cool stuff going on. Like you got the Christmas tree, you got the point option to redeem. Where we can reverse your flippers.
Yeah, that's just kind of weird little smart gadget stuff that.
It's fun. It's neat. It sets you apart.
I completely agree. I love those interactions. Those are definitely some of my favorite.
Dirty Toes, love you, man. Thanks for the sub.
Dirty Toes, you're amazing. My hat's off to you. Thank you so much. I think we're getting back into... No, we just got into the mini wizard mode.
Queen Dark Lady, that was kind of why I found the question kind of weird, because we're all here because we love pinball. And I think everyone that really gets into this and gets in the nitty-gritty, we're all a little left of normal.
Yeah, I was thinking in some ways my pinball excitement would be classified this way, but I didn't want to say that for this audience because I knew it would be a riot.
Looking forward to fun and a casserole of life.
Okay, well, George, thank you so much for having me, but my dryer has completed its cycle with only 6 manual restarts, so I need to go to bed and get my kid to school in the morning. Thank you. It's been a great time.
Awesome.
And
Joe, thank you so much for hanging out.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Alrighty, have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
I'm sorry, Sammy.
Hmm?
I'm sorry. Oh, I got it. I'm sorry that you missed. You were trying to grab Joe's attention, I think, just before you left.
No, I was saying goodbye.
Okay.
I think Sammy should come up with a good question.
Got 7 more.
Take all the time you need.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's circle back on that one.
Pinball
Yeah.
Network rating with 11 BAU.
What? Pinball
Welcome.
Network, you're amazing. Streambard Snivy tries, welcome.
Snivy!
This is gonna hurt.
Snivy, you're not so much late as we are early. Started at 10 instead of 10:30.
And also, Snivy, the stream is not a pair of socks. You don't need to darn it.
Can we? Okay. So next question. That was number 3. Number 4. What cookie is the best representation of you?
Hey, Frisco.
Frisco Pinball, thank you so much for that raid. You're amazing.
What cookie best represents me?
I really like that question. Get up there. Ah, crap. All right, we've got to finish up Quill's Quest, Orb Multiball, and Group Multiball in order to finish this up. We're on ball 2. We've made it to the mini wizard mode.
Lee, did you decide what kind of cookie defines you as a person?
Yeah, what's your answer, George?
It is an oatmeal cookie. Because I feel like I'm not the most awful thing ever, but I'm enjoyable at, like, in small doses. I think...
You're a little lumpy and full of raisins.
There you go. That's another way to put it. Sure.
And you're dairy-free and gluten-free.
Yeah.
Covered in icing.
I would have called you a whoopie pie.
Is that a cookie, though?
A fluffy cookie? I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know,
yeah.
I guess. I mean, would biscotti be a cookie?
Is
That's
that a cookie? All right, one last shot, and if I can get it into Star-Lord, we're done. We've got 88 seconds. Well, we're done with that, and then we have to beat Orb and Group Multiball.
You finally did it, George. I don't know how I answered this question.
What? You can't come up with a cookie that defines you? Ooh, Mr. Lance went with ginger molasses. That's a cookie I like even less often, I think, than oatmeal. But it is
Okay.
a cookie that I really like.
Yeah, I got it. There's a small mom and pop bakery about 5 blocks away that makes these really good tiramisu cookies. And because I can be sweet, but I can also be very bitter.
Okay. There we go. Tiramisu
Overly
cookies.
Are you caffeinated also?
Oh, 24/7.
I would have took you for some kind of pot cookie.
Yeah, I was gonna say some sort of brownie chocolate chip
That's
cookie.
very nondescript. That could be any cookie. You just put it in. And if you make the butter right, it's not going to change the taste. So.
Fine game.
Of all the nights for you to not be wearing your cookies hat, George.
I know, right? Like I should have my cookie hat on.
Slacker would be an everything cookie. In their head, it sounds great, but in reality, it'd be too much to handle.
Uh-oh.
Snivy would be a good cinnamon sugar cookie fresh out of the oven with a beautifully melted chocolate chip right in the middle.
Has anyone chosen a browser cookie yet?
7
I like
plus
that.
1.
Okay. Sammy, do you have a cookie? I can't remember if you've already answered that one.
I've not. I think I would say probably like a peanut butter cookie because I don't really like sweet things, but I do like salty things, and peanut butter is kind of salty.
It's
Okay.
savory.
Savory, there we go.
There we go.
Although that's more like it's my favorite cookie. I don't know if it represents me, but it represents my taste.
I was gonna say,
Your
are
taste?
you a salty person, Sammy?
I am a little bit of a salty person, so you know it works. Salty and sweet, it's a mix.
We got a bit of a salty Sandra in here.
Also, but out of all the cookies, I do want to throw out that peanut butter is definitely my favorite. It's once again, I can't eat, and I should say it like followed closely by an almond sugar cookie. Would be number 2, and it's very close. But peanut butter, the best peanut butter versus the best almond sugar cookie, the peanut butter is going to win out every single time because it's got to have the right amount of mushiness, but also crispy, crunchy on the outside. Like when I bite into it, it should have a little bit of a crack, and then just talking about it right now, and I want a peanut butter cookie so bad. I'm already kind of hungry right now. So, peanut butter cookies, I'm right there with you, Sammy. I absolutely love a good peanut butter cookie. Okay, Mr. Lance, Chaotix, Slacker, Cubed, also all agreeing peanut butter. Ooh, so Frisco says I'd be a black and white cookie because I want to bring world peace or ruin your stomach trying. Okay.
Night Randon, thanks for stopping in, bud. Love seeing
Night Razor.
Thank you, Razor. A proper peanut butter cookie I feel like a ominous corn. I feel like that needs to be said in a British accent. A proper peanut butter cookie should have the texture of a New York City bagel.
I thought you were referring to their name. Ominous corn.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
gonna say I'm more like a molasses cookie because I'm old-fashioned and slow.
Nice. Oh.
And
Nice.
slow. Yeah, I should be a molasses cookie
But-
then.
But my favorite cookie is probably a toss-up between an oatmeal raisin cookie and
Yes.
like maybe a classic chocolate chip cookie. Toll House.
I'm curious, when you say classic chocolate chip, is that classic chocolate chip as though it had just come out of the oven and is still warm and gooey kind of chocolate chip? Or are you talking classic, like, packaged from the store and it comes to you crispy? Kind of like, describe that chocolate chip cookie, because chocolate chip obviously is one of the more maybe common chocolate or cookies out there, rather.
Like a warm, out of the oven Toll House type cookie.
Okay. Spyro the Husky, by the way, going with Snickerdoodle. That is my daughter's current favorite cookie. And
Don't really like
name is
crunchy
great.
cookies all that much.
I'm in the same boat. Man, I feel like we could continue. This could easily just become desserts, by the way. And on that note, I want to follow that up with, what is everyone's thoughts on...
Hey, I didn't get to answer.
Oh, I am so sorry, Dance Panda. Please, tell us what kind of cookie best describes you.
I'm obviously a Hello Panda filled cookie. Those little Hello Panda cookies.
But those kind of
Because-
flavors. What flavor are you picking?
I am picking the green tea matcha because sometimes I'm a little much for people.
Matcha. It's a little too matcha.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, because I'm black, white, and Asian, obviously, because I'm a panda.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to save my question about desserts and treats for another time, and I'm going to go to number 5. We've got a bunch more we have yet to do tonight, and it's we're already halfway through the stream. So we're at 5, halfway through. This is actually really good. What is the thing that you spend too much money on? And to narrow this down a little bit, like maybe a better or more particular way to ask this question is, what's the thing that you treat yourself or splurge on, maybe when you're successful or if you're down, or what's the, and I'm going to give my answer. I go to Starbucks way too often. That's I just kick butt at work. I'm going to take 20 minutes, drive to Starbucks, and go get myself a white chocolate mocha. Right now it's with a venti, oat milk, white chocolate mocha, no whipped cream, 3 pumps of white chocolate, and 1 pump of toasted vanilla. That is my drink, and I probably spend maybe about $50 a week on that particular drink now. It's entirely too much. Big Brother Pinball throwing out pinball. Mr. Hardluck saying action figures. Jedi McMuffin saying pinball streaming equipment. Mr. Lance saying Legos.
I was thinking the same thing, Jedi.
Yeah, on the streaming equipment. All right, go.
George. I spend too much money on George.
On me?
I'm just
George
kidding.
getting too expensive for you?
No. I couldn't say my kids, but he is also my splurge too, so.
Wait, your kids or me?
No, I treat myself to you.
Oh,
Stop.
Aw.
I don't know
that
if this is
was
the
cheap.
appropriate.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know if this is the appropriate venue to talk about you splurging on George.
Yeah, exactly.
That is a different word altogether.
Queen Dark Lady suggesting I go cinnamon dolce instead of vanilla. Done. I will try a pump of cinnamon dolce the next time.
Ooh, the barista told us about that one time you were there.
That is right. Oh man, I spaced that. Huh, that's interesting. I didn't go back. George is my splurge too. Giggity.
I guess George does something for all of us. Hey, Joe Error, welcome to the Discord.
Hey, Joe Air, thank you.
Oh, yeah, gotta scroll back up here, George. We missed some peak Snivy content.
No, wait.
I thought I was late, but was just in time. So now I give you all this rhyme. Talking about cookies and what we are, this question really lasted quite far. I would be a cookie sweet, a hug for the soul. It can't be beat. Hopefully the next ones are just as cool. Maybe some humor. Let's find us a fool.
Snivy, like, just awesome. Thank you. You wear the stream bard very proudly. You should. I'm
I
sorry.
think it was all in the reading.
I guess for me, it would have to be whenever my businesses are doing well, I buy casks of aged scotch from Glenlivet. I currently have 7 sitting in my basement that have yet to be tapped.
Sorry, and what are the ages of the Glenlivet you have sitting waiting to be tapped?
I have a 5, a 10, a 15, a 25, and the rest are 30s.
Oh my gosh. I've only ever tried the 10 and the 15.
I love a scotch that's old enough to order its own scotch.
That is a new, I feel like, target for me. I want to order a drink that's old enough to order itself in the United States or in Colorado. Wow.
Oh, you moved for a moment, then you
might be
died.
coming back.
Nope,
We're back.
they're. Oh,
We're live, pal.
We're
Yeah,
back.
there we go.
I think you're moving. Yeah, you're moving.
Hey.
All right. I'm going to say
Hooray.
refresh.
Thank you for joining us for that brief interruption.
It was a brief commercial break without the commercials.
Mine
Right.
still gets
yeah.
this weird. Mine still has the guy with his head on his head, and I just refreshed.
Speaking
Yeah,
of brief
I think-
commercials, I love the refreshing taste of Dr. Pepper as much as the next person.
Oh, there you are.
Nuprin, little, yellow,
Different.
different. Thank you. I
Yes,
can never
the-
remember the third adjective on that one.
Different.
We will not bow to any corporate sponsor.
Wasn't there another one called Differin?
Differin. It's the choice of a new generation. Joe Air, intermission music, right?
Like
Oh
people
my
do
God.
things 'cause they only get paid, and that's just really sad.
That is 2 slide saves. That
I say I
probably.
buy too much lobster.
Oh my God, you're in Maine.
You
know,
pay
but
less
still,
for lobster than
A
anyone
lot
else.
of people. I don't know about that. That just cost me $72 a pound yesterday.
Whew, 72 a pound?
That's why you gotta go to Bob's Clam Hut in Kittery.
But it was shucked. It was shucked meat. Somebody else cooked it and shucked it. So
Oh, it took the workout. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
because my mom's birthday was yesterday, and I intended to go see her, and then I grabbed a little half a pound of lobster and I headed on up there, and my alternator died in my truck.
Wow, you had a day yesterday. Oh,
So yeah, I haven't seen my mom yet, and then today I was still waiting for my truck to be repaired, and it got repaired around 8 p.m. And my mechanic said, "You can come get it tonight or get it tomorrow." I'm like, yeah, it's a little late for now. I'll get it tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm gonna go see my mom and bring her some lobster.
okay. And it's her birthday. How old did she turn yesterday?
8-0.
Oh my gosh! Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yep. Wow.
Hashtag winning.
We're glad she made it because she's been battling with pancreatic cancer for like a good 6 years now.
Yeah, that is awesome. I'm not the obviously
the 80-year-old
the-
part.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Well, just that it's awesome that she made it that far because it's only like a 10% survival rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that what took Swayze?
Swayze and Alex Trebek. Most people don't really realize they have it until they're like third or fourth
Stage.
and then it's just they don't last that long.
A gun rack. Yeah, right. I don't even own a gun, let alone many guns that would necessitate an entire rack. What am I gonna do with a gun rack? You know, Wayne, if you're not careful, you're gonna lose me. I lost you 6 months ago. Are you mental? Get the net.
Sorry, is that another Wayne's World quote?
Sure is.
Say, I haven't seen Wayne's World since probably the 1990s. I think I need to go back.
Seen it in several hours.
In several hours, okay. Okay, are we ready for question number 6? Did we miss anyone on that last one?
Well,
all right, number 6. What music would you choose to play every time you walk into a room?
Can it change depending on your mood?
Maybe you could list a couple of songs if that's what you'd want, but like listing 6 or 7 would be difficult. Yeah, I would lean towards one just for the simplicity of answering the question. Not for, like, obviously if you were going to set up a system that did theme music when you walked into a room, you'd have the ability to switch it out. And at some point you could probably just change your mood for the day. Think of it like a mood ring app or something like that on your phone. And when you change it, it switches up the song.
Like Larry David, doesn't matter what mood he's in, you're always going to hear that same music. Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, 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 bum.
Sorry, who is that?
Larry David.
Who is Larry David?
What?
Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I haven't even watched Curb Your Enthusiasm, but I know who Larry David is.
The creator of Seinfeld? Maybe you've heard of that?
I'll be right back, George. I'm going to go cry into a pillow.
Aww.
Have you ever heard of Seinfeld, George?
Yes, I have watched almost every episode of Seinfeld.
Larry
He
David
was the writer and creator of most episodes.
Okay.
And you've never watched Curb Your Enthusiasm? Just been
I have
on.
That's even better than Seinfeld IMO.
Huh. Nope, I don't think I've ever seen Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like, I've heard the name, but I don't think I've ever watched it.
Wow.
By the way, Chaotix coming out with 7 Nation Army. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, that's really good. I like that. So what else do we got? The Peanuts theme for Jedi McMuffin. Cue up WWF entrance music for Chaotix. Booty Do Math by Kirby Crackle, says Mr. Lance. Try to Tilt Pinball, welcome to the stream. Something almost sub-oral that people won't notice but still hear. Set the creepy horror vibe. Hire Peanut wanting to come off as a, just wants to set the mood to slightly off-putting. I feel like when they walk into a room.
I think mine would go under that category as well.
Really?
It would probably be, it's a song from Beyonce's album Lemonade. It's called 6 Inch. And it just gives the vibe. It's not the one with the baseball bat, but if for anybody that's seen the movie or the visual version, but it gives off vibes of like, I'm walking into this room and I might burn this building down and you don't know. It's not doing it any justice. You'd have to hear it.
I think that's definitely, you have to hear it. Hey, Lynn's Arcade just brought 6 beautiful individual over here. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you for joining us. We have some amazing streamers on the call with us. We have Dance Panda, I Only Seek Eurydice, I Skidoo, and Sammy Higgins. Welcome.
Hello.
We're playing some Guardians. Hi.
I think for me, I'm going to go with Afroman's positive remix of Because I Got High.
Okay, that's the song. Something Because I Got High.
But it was after it became legalized, so it's talking about all the problems it can help you with, like glaucoma, alcoholism.
Right.
I Ski just heard it. I dropped it on his stream before.
Jay-Z,
I just had week 6 league night. Nice.
Oh, awesome. How is League going for you? And I'm curious, what games were being played this evening, Lynn's Arcade?
And it's not like I get to pick for Ice Ski-Doo, but if I did, every time he walked in the room, you get the King of Maine by Spose.
The King of Maine. Nice, nice. I like it.
Actually, a pretty good song. I hadn't really heard it until.
My favorite line from that is, "If you're Batman, it must be LL Bane."
LL Bane.
LL Bane. Is that like LL Bean?
Oh, yeah, George, if you've never had a piece of LL Bean clothing, I only buy my slippers from them.
I absolutely have had LL Bean before. I got a t-shirt.
So good.
Was it Tri-Blend?
Surprisingly, no.
Was it Tri-Flannel?
It was definitely we'll go Tri-Flannel. Guardians, Lynn's Arcade, Guardians is a lot of fun. I'm trying to just beat it. We completed all the modes in our second game, but we did not beat the multi-balls. We didn't hit either of the super jackpots, so we made it to Immolation earlier, but not save Xandar. I just want to get to save Xandar so that way I can sell it, because the Pinsomniac wants to buy this from us. And evidently that's the royal us in this case.
George, when this Colorado trip inevitably happens, we will not only be going to Denver and to see you, but we're going to be taking a trip to, we're going to be staying a couple of nights at on Owl Farm in Hunter S. Thompson's writing cabin, if that's something you'd be interested in joining us for.
Yes. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
I am such a massive fan of him, and to stay where he sat and wrote some of his best work. And he's still got the peacocks there, and you can go and see where you can see the cannon where his ashes were shot out and where he was buried.
Okay. I mean, we would have to watch the drug movie I can't think of. Not Leaving Las Vegas.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, right? So A, you'd have to watch that. B, obviously there'd have to be some very legal ways to get intoxicated.
It's Colorado, so one of those is already legal, and a quick trip to a liquor store will get us all the Chivas Regal and the wild turkey we can drink.
Okay.
Besides, Chivas is still relatively cheap, so.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my, that sounds really cool. Actually, I kind of want that. I think Dance Panda either left or is on hard mute at this point.
No,
so,
I tried to answer, but.
Oh.
You didn't hear me?
Yeah, I did not hear you.
I tried to answer.
Oh, sorry.
No, I lost my headset, so I just switched to my machine because it died. I was on it for too long. But what was the question again? I forgot now.
A song you could pick if you walked into a room. Whenever you walk into a room, a song plays.
That is hard because as teaching music, it is so easy for music to get burnt out and not annoy the poo out of you. So maybe Palmdale, also on that same Afro Man kick.
Palmdale.
Just because it's got so many different parts to it. Maybe you can play a different part to it. Yeah. I need you when I love you, baby.
Palmdale.
And that's so funny because he has such an affinity for that place after moving there from Mississippi, but Palmdale's really not a good part of California.
It is not. No, it is not.
I drove through it once. It's very scary.
It is a very scary place. Yeah, I was going to stay there on my drive from Colorado to California, and my friends were like, don't get robbed by a crackhead, please.
You'll probably get robbed by Afro Man himself.
I have spent a lot of time in California for work reasons, and there was multiple places that my work would not allow me to go. Like I could go to Boyle Heights or Rancho Cucamonga.
If they didn't let you go to Compton, George?
I never had the opportunity to go to Compton.
It's not hard to get into. It may be very difficult to get out of.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Welcome to the Jungle.
Ooh.
Okay. Trying to think of what that would be for me. Like, what is that song that no matter what, I am always good listening to that somehow...
The metal remix of What Does the Fox Say?
That's probably a perfect example of exactly the kind of song that perfectly identifies me. I just don't want to choose it is the thing.
Because once you do, it's locked in.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's the hard thing. Like, what do you actually choose?
George, go with Whoop, There It Is.
Whoop, there it is.
Who Let the Dogs Out? Or, Blitzkrieg Pop.
Last.
Man. Ooh, you know what? GOTG has a song about, thank you for, like, passing. I can't remember the name of the song anymore. But it is perfectly 90s. And it's one of those songs that I will always love listening to. Also, maybe GOTG's Century Plant 2000. Maybe it's that song. I'm not sure which. But thank you for passing. Thank you. You could always pick something from Scott Pilgrim. Queen Dark Lady. I'm trying to think of like what song I would choose from there. Joe Air, GOTG. What was it?
Scott's rendition of Ramona.
I got the song I've been working on.
What about Sandstorm?
Sandstorm, that I don't know.
How about Lose Yourself? Lose Yourself.
Oh man, Lose Yourself by Eminem.
Well, Lose Yourself is a much stronger pick than Just Lose It.
Actually, the album that has Just Lose It on it, which was borderline a comedy album. Ooh.
That was what drug addiction looked like, George.
Is it? Because that to me is when he peaked. Was that album, because he also had what's the same thing between you and a frog? You're both green with envy, and it was, oh man.
George, that was the album where he lashed out at his haters and called them all big weenies.
Yes, Big Weenie. Thank you, Big Weenie. I think is my favorite song by Eminem. You're just a big weenie, a big meanie. You just can't do what I do, so instead of just admitting it, you walk around and say all kinds of really mean things about me because you're a meanie, a weenie.
George, you should go with Eye of the Tiger, because you're working out now and doing all this stuff.
Dun, 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 dun.
Or the Rocky Balboa theme song. Yeah?
Yeah, or the Weird Al parody that combines them both, the Rye or the Kaiser. Which ironically ended up being the plot to Rocky Balboa.
I feel like it's got to be a Nine Inch Nails song. Oh, you know what? It's the Nine Inch Nails song. It's like song 12 or 13 on the With Teeth album. It's On the Inside, and it starts off inside something. It's a slower song, and the opening lyrics are, you're looking at a cage or something like that, and you're not sure who's actually in the cage. Is it you that's in the cage or the thing that you're looking at? That song, maybe by Nine Inch Nails. Right Where It Belongs. That is the name of that song. Whoever You Are, Dance Panda, thank you so much. I'm gonna maybe Whoever You Are by GOTG, Century Plant 2000, or Right Where It Belongs or Right Where You Belong by Nine Inch Nails. I still haven't bought those tickets, Dice. I'm gonna do it though, I promise. Joe Aaron, let me change lanes while I was driving in my car. It's such a good song. GOTG is actually really good.
No matter how low I turn the volume, Trent Reznor's always yelling at me. What did I do?
He is. It does feel like he's always yelling, but great singing, amazing music, and anything he's a part of, he brings. I feel like it's bringing in. Sorry, the director who did Nightmare Before Christmas. It's like bringing Tim Burton into a movie. It's distinct. You know that Tim Burton was involved.
Yeah, but that didn't make Dark Shadows any good.
Wait, that was Tim Burton who did Dark Shadows with Johnny Depp?
Yep.
I never saw it. I didn't hear anything good about it. By the way, just because Tim Burton's involved does not mean it's going to be good. It's just
my favorite
distinct.
part of that movie was when it ended.
I think the only Tim Burton. Well, no, let me not say the only Tim Burton, but most Tim Burton movies I don't really like. The only one I remember really, really liking was Big Fish.
Oh my god,
it was very much not Tim Burton.
Yeah, that was great.
No love for Edward Scissorhands?
That's the kind of stuff that I don't know. It's not my vibe.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like the Charlie from the Chocolate Factory because I'm so used to the original.
Yep.
I
Just thought it was just so weird.
Tim Burton did Sweeney Todd though, right?
Yes.
Did he?
Yes.
Well, it was Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter, so I assume so.
Wait,
I
I
did
am
like the
totally
original
assuming.
Batman, though. The '89 Batman. That's good.
Yes, he did both the first and the second one, right? With Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito.
Yes,
Michelle,
he did
Michelle,
both. He did both those Batman. He did a movie called Big Eyes.
That was a good one. And yes,
He did.
it was directed by Tim Burton.
Yes, he did
Okay.
Sweeney Todd. He did Sleepy Hollow.
I like Sweeney
Sleepy
Todd.
Hollow.
George, did you say?
Get Sleepy Hollow.
George, did you say you don't know the song Sandstorm?
I do not know the song Sandstorm.
Because the chat is not having it. They're like, you must have heard like.
That sounds like the King of the Hill theme song.
Ooh,
That's not a bad
Beetlejuice.
song.
Joe Air, thank you. Maybe I know Sandstorm, I just don't know it by name. But it sounds
Because
like
no error, nobody's mentioned it, because if you say his name 2 more times, he'll show up.
And then suddenly Joe will reappear. Sorry, that's a Joe Hill's meta joke. Sorry.
James and the Giant
Sandstorm
Peach,
by
Mars
Dover.
Attacks, Lost in Oz, Edward Scissorhands.
Whoa. Lost in Oz, was that the sequel to
Yeah.
Oz that had the robot?
Yeah.
That was my favorite Wizard the Oz film ever. I hated Wizard of Oz, but the sequel, Oz, that had like a Tin Man that was an actual like rusted robot, like a big orbish robot character, was my favorite Wizard of Oz film growing up.
George
Yeah, that was with Fairuza Balk.
Huh.
Oh, I love her.
I liked The Wiz.
The Wiz. Why do I know
Cabin
that?
Boy.
Cabin Boy. These pipes are clean. That movie was so bad, but also really enjoyable in a weird way.
9.
9 could have been so much better.
Did any of that music
Abraham-
come through?
No, I could not hear any of the music.
Oh.
Those damn
Abraham
Discord
Lincoln.
filters.
Yes,
sorry.
Whoa.
he unfortunately also did do Mars Attacks.
Mars Attacks didn't do it for me.
It didn't do
Lobster
it for
Six
anybody.
Magnet,
One
by
of
the
the most
way.
irritating movies of all time.
But it was very pop. Yeah, it's super. The ack that the aliens speak in. Okay,
Yep.
next question, by the way.
I was gonna say he did the music video for Linkin Park Powerless.
Really?
There is a Beetlejuice 2 coming out.
Oh, that's
What?
back on the docket? I thought it got removed.
What?
Yeah, no, it's yeah. Holy biscuits.
I hope it
Oh
follows
man.
his original plan and they all go to Hawaii.
Beetlejuice in Hawaii. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's
it-
slated for 2025.
Lobster Six and Magnet. What What do you mean Mars Attacks is the best pinball? Are you talking
Well,
about
Attack from Mars. Well,
or
Attack from
Revenge
Mars was
from Mars?
Attack from Mars was originally meant to be Mars Attacks, but
But
they
then there's
didn't
Revenge
get
from Mars, so I'm trying to figure out which
They
one
saw
he's
the
talking
box
about.
office, and they're like, let's change this.
Yeah. The next question actually was Mars Attacks. Okay. Well,
That's not
I mean, Attack from Mars.
That's not a pinball machine. That's why I'm trying to get you to clarify.
Good
Attack
point
from
to
Mars
clarify that.
or Revenge from Mars.
Of course, Hollywood has
Mars
zero
Attacks
fresh
is a movie.
So about that next question, George.
Yes. With the UFO and the fan shots, Mars Attacks.
Attack from Mars.
Okay.
I'm gonna time him out. Sorry.
Oh no. Trolling.
Okay, so this is the fun question for me. Which armrest is yours at the movie theater?
Oh.
So that's one of those, like, do I lean this way? Obviously, if you're there with other people and you're on the end, you can lean in. That's kind of the assumption. But is there one in particular that is yours? Is it the right or the left? Chaotix immediately saying it's both.
Well, the theater I go to has the Dream Lounger seats, so you get both armrests.
Okay. Now, and the same thing, the one that I go to actually does have armrests dedicated. Both are dedicated to me.
I tend to always want to be on the end of the aisle, so it'd always be whatever side is facing the aisle, so I don't have to share it with other people.
Interesting. Is that because you want a quick exit, or so that way you don't have to have someone to one side of you?
All
It's
of
none
the
of your
above.
business.
It's it's all of the above. Like if I have to use the restroom, I don't have to step over people.
Right.
If I don't have somebody I don't know sitting next to me. Yeah,
Okay.
it's all of those things.
All of it, all of the above. Okay.
Yes.
If I go with my brother, we leave a seat between us. That way we both can have enough space. Because
Smart.
we're both big
Yep.
dudes.
And you have somewhere to put your coat.
Yeah, we put our drinks and snacks in the middle.
See, that's what I like about the Dream Loungers. There's dedicated left and right armrest cup holders. So no matter what dominant hand you have, you can pick your choice cup holder.
Just flex
Now-
your fancy movie theater. We're over here. I don't even think we have a movie theater here anymore.
Oh, that stinks. So you don't have any way to see new movies that are coming out? You have to, like, drive, I'm guessing, to another town?
I wait until I can stream them, pretty much.
Oh, that's...
Oh, you have
Go
to
ahead.
torrent them? That's a terrible.
No, I wait till they're available somewhere. No, because the thing is, for me, I feel like there's so few movies that for me are worth, as an introvert who's also neurodivergent, there's very few movies that are worth the experience of physically going to the movie theaters. I think the last film that I saw in theaters was Endgame.
Wow. Last one I
Avengers
saw was
Endgame, okay.
Spider-Man No Way Home. That was pretty good. It was in IMAX, so that was quite the fun time.
Ooh, I went and saw
last
that.
You wouldn't download a car, says Lobster.
Sorry, what'd you say, Dice?
The last one I saw was The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and that was a fantastic movie.
I haven't seen it, but the one I went and saw, so it was a choice that night to go see that, which you had recommended and several other people said was wonderful, and the timing was just a little bit better for the evening, was the opportunity to go see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Ooh, you saw that?
Yes. Loved every second of Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I have not gone yet back to watch the Nick Cage movie, which I want to see. But if you have not checked out Everything Everywhere All at Once, what a fantastic film. The previews did no justice whatsoever to what that film is actually about, and it was wonderful.
I can't figure it out from the description.
I'm waiting for a fresh batch of brownies to come out, because I feel like that's a movie I need to see while having a special brownie.
A fresh batch of brownies. I don't know the movie that you're referring to.
The one you're talking to. I'm going to have a special brownie while I watch that one.
Oh, yes. Okay, got it. You were waiting to make special brownies. Yes, that is exactly what's needed. So
If I could send them through the computer, I would.
Oh, You
No,
have
they're
them
not
right
mine.
now. Okay.
Oh, that's okay. We're literally putting
Sammy, way
out
to
brand
cover
new
yourself. Perfectly right there. They're not mine. They're not here.
No,
There's somebody else's.
I work for a place that has federal regulations, despite the fact that California has legalized it. So I don't get to partake, but other people in my house do.
These aren't mine.
Okay.
I'm just holding them.
I also work. I don't. I work specifically for the federal government, so I also cannot partake in anything.
Lobster, are you referring to those very early 2000s commercials that talked about like burning movies as a crime?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes. Do you remember those?
Sure
You
do.
wouldn't download a speedboat.
Oh my god, those are great. I kind of want to pull one of those ads up right now and just listen to it in the background.
That could be your ad for the night, George.
Oh man, I don't have an
You would
easy way I feel
download
like
a
to show.
pinball machine.
Yes. I would
do
download
that.
a car if I
We go on
could.
Steam and download pinball machines.
I know.
Nowadays, you probably could. You could download
And
some
we
kind of
pay for
3D print file and print your own boat.
Oh, that would take years.
Jedi McMuffin
Show
laughing
the
in
power of tape.
Plex.
I sawed this boat in half.
Loving. Plex, by the way, Jedi. Wow, thank you again. Because that, I'm on the last episode of Halo. Having access to Bluey was fantastic. Plex is amazing. So did everyone get an opportunity to answer which armrest is yours at the movie theater?
Did Dance Panda?
Dance Panda?
I don't have any preference.
Okay. Dance Panda. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I really don't have a preference.
Okay.
Whatever side the food's on.
So, on that same vein, I have a follow-up, which is, do the minutes of a movie include the previews and credits?
Nope.
Credits, yes. Previews, no.
Credits, of course. It depends if you're calling the movie line. Movie line will, depending on which theater it is, may include the credits in their time, but they shouldn't.
Thank you
They
for calling movie phone.
Okay,
Why
and that
don't
was a
you
pretty
tell me
easy one to
the
look
movie
up.
you
I'm
would like to
thinking.
see.
I used to assemble the movies and put like the reels together because it'd be coming in on like 4 or 5 reels depending on the length of the film.
Are you
Unless it
saying
was, like,
you used to be
Titanic.
Brad Pitt from Fight Club?
I've never seen that movie, surprisingly enough. I probably should.
It's a
Same.
good one. It's a really good one.
Once
But
I
I
knew the
used to
ending,
be a
I couldn't see the point.
But I used to be a projectionist, so I don't know if is that what he did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
No,
yeah,
there's no reason to go over the details of what happens. You need to see the movie, And Sammy, I think I talked over you. What did you say just a moment ago?
Which one? My answer or my response about Fight Club?
Yes.
Both?
Yes.
I said credits count, previews don't.
Okay.
And then I said once you've already been told the ending of Fight Club, I don't know that there's a point.
Really? That you don't think that the movie is enjoyable once the surprise
No, I
ending
haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
Because once the ending's been spoiled, it's kind of like, eh.
The movie, I feel like, is still moving, or still has an important message, and the fact that it has a bit of a surprise ending is just icing on the cake. But the movie and the going through the movie is still very enjoyable. I don't think it ruins it. I come back and watch it typically about once a year.
If you ever think you're having a bad day, just remember that Bruce Willis found out he was dead and he still had to go to work.
I like it. Okay, so I think universally it sounds like there's agreement that previews don't count towards the minutes, but the credits do. Do we all feel pretty confident at that point? On that point?
I'm surprised it was even a question.
It was an interesting one. I'm like, I never really thought about that.
Oh, Jedi, I cannot wait to see Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan.
I am
already
also
cleared out
very excited.
today so I can watch the first 2 episodes over and over again.
Is that animated or live action?
Live action?
Live action. Yep.
Okay, well that's going on my list.
Oh yeah, it looks really, really good. I'm excited.
I've been in love with Ewan McGregor since I was 16.
Please tell me it was from the episode of ER when he showed up after robbing a convenience store.
No.
Oh,
More
okay.
like Moulin Rouge.
Rouge.
Okay, no, this was before Moulin Rouge. It was the first time I had ever seen Ewan McGregor, and I called it out. I was at a family dinner eating pizza, and I'm like, that guy is going to become very popular. And I was
Well,
very
he also
right.
did a movie called Brassed Off, which is that Chumbawamba song came from that movie. And I believe he plays the French horn in that movie. And as a French horn player, I was like, yes.
He could play my friend one.
Okay, no.
Oh no, we've already done that question before. I was going to follow up with that question, but we've asked that question.
Trainspotting, both of them are such hard watches, but they're good movies. You really need to be in the right frame of mind to watch any of the Trainspotting movies. Those are not fun.
No, they're not. I can't do Trainspotting again. I did it once when I was younger, and I'm like, nope, don't need to do it. SLC Punk, can't do it again. Trainspotting.
Punk is amazing through adult eyes.
I don't think I can go back and watch it ever again.
You have to.
Joe
It's
Aaron.
so philosophical.
And sorry, what's the most depressing movie ever made? Oh, Requiem for a Dream. Yeah. Kids is a close second, by the way. Lobster Sticks to Magnet.
Somebody
Requiem
bought me
for a
that
Dream.
DVD and I've never watched it.
Why would they? Don't burn it.
Don't. Yeah.
Just like throw it away.
You wouldn't download a speedboat.
Wait a minute. Actually, no. Is that the one with Robin Williams?
No, Robin Williams is not in Kids.
Oh, no, that's What Dreams May Come. Never mind.
Now What Dreams May Come is a fantastic movie, and I think I started reading the book on that one, but it was very different from the movie. Yeah,
that would be
movie.
so sad if somebody told you What Dreams May Come was Kids. Like,
Queen Dark Lady saying Grave of the Fireflies is the most depressing movie ever. I don't know that.
Watershed Down? Yeah, no.
Watershed Down? 1984. Okay, cool. Check this out. Kiwi Frenzy. I read a lot of books. And on top of that, if a book gets good, I won't sleep until it's done, or I literally fall asleep reading it. In 1984, I woke up. It must have, not woke up. I was still reading, and I woke up my ex because I finished the book. And I feel like I can spoil 1984, right? Like that came out in the late 70s, I think, or maybe mid 70s.
We were required to read it in high school.
Okay, I didn't have to read it in high school, but I also went to a Catholic high school. Totally different story. And they had a very different reading set of requirements. So I didn't have to read it there. I read it when I was maybe about 24, 25, based on a recommendation saying you have to read 1984. And the fact that he falls back in line and it just ends with him having ultimately achieved nothing. Like there was the first time I ever came across a story where the protagonist loses. And I threw the book across the room at like 3 a.m, woke up my ex. I'm like, and I screamed. I don't swear, but I screamed, F that book, F every and what's so funny is I think and reference 1984 so often, even 15 years later. I love what that book did for me, even though I hated it more than any other book just after finishing reading it.
But George,
1948, okay. I'm sorry,
I
Dice.
feel like... Oh, go ahead.
I said 1984 is the feel-good story of the year.
Oh, I feel like that book did more... That, and there's a couple others that my AP English teacher made us read in high school. I feel like he did more to prepare me for the year 2022 than like anybody else in my life.
Sure.
Sure. Did any of y'all have to read Animal Farm when you were in school?
Yes, it was all part of the same curriculum.
I didn't have to read it, but I went back and read it about 10 years ago because I fell in love with Slaughterhouse-Five. What's that author's name?
Good night, Dance Panda.
Slaughter. Apparently the guy who plays Gollum is going to be making a new
Kurt Vonnegut. So I fell in love with Kurt Vonnegut and went on this like binge where I read Breakfast of Champions, Slaughterhouse-Five, Cat's Cradle, Cat in the Cradle. I don't remember what the name of that book was. and then I did Animal Farm, and there was like 3 or 4 others. Oh, Fahrenheit 451. And it was just like for 2 months, I think I binged all of the books I absolutely should have read in high school and fell in love with Vonnegut, who it was totally unexpected as I was reading Slaughterhouse-Five, the fact that it was like this weird, it was like an unfunny version of Douglas Adams, is how I would describe Vonnegut, like off the wall, absolutely crazy. And that's when I hit Animal Farm, and at that point I was kind of, I was okay with silliness, and I was okay with weird literature. And when Animal Farm came, I'm like, this is great. This is falling right into my wheelhouse right now, and I actually really liked Animal Farm.
If you ever want to not feel good reading a book, read Naked Lunch by William Burroughs.
Why do I know William Burroughs? That's a big name, right?
He was pretty. He's popular for being unhinged. He was a big influence on Hunter Thompson.
Got it. Okay. Okay, so if I know Vonnegut, I should know Burroughs. Joe Eyre, for sure. Okay.
They're in the same class.
At school, I had to read obscure Australian books instead of any of these classics, says Devin Crates. I'm so sorry, Devin Crates. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the Australian obscure books were awesome. And Sammy, I feel like you were about to jump on the Kurt Vonnegut or Animal Farm train before I totally went off and just monologued for a good 2 minutes there.
No. I actually don't remember the question at this point, but like, I'm along for the ride.
Okay. Oh my God.
I keep Googling things, so.
Well, here, you can add this to the list then, because Chaotix offered up Where the Red Fern Grows. I bawled in the middle of, I think it was 6th grade, when we had to read Where the Red Fern Grows, and I couldn't stop the tears at all.
I thankfully never had to read that.
Heartbreaking.
That's an instance where the book is so much better than the movie.
Yes. You know, I feel like that's the rule, and there's a few that break that, right? Like the really obvious easy one is Princess Bride, where the book was just okay, but the movie was fantastic. Ooh,
All right,
Watershed Down.
Confession time. Who sobbed so hard when they first read Charlotte's Web?
Oh my God.
My favorite movie as a little kid, and I don't think I ever understood it.
I also didn't understand it, and I only read it for the first time to Zoe about 2 years ago. And I had to keep stopping while reading it because I was getting so choked up. And maybe it was 3 years ago. I feel like Zoe was 4 and she's 8, so 4 years ago. Yeah, that was rough.
I'm not gonna go. I think I ended up buying the DVD of that when it came out, like initially as a DVD. And I think I watched it and I remember being like, nope, never doing this again.
Oh, Chaotix with, or not Chaotix, Joe Eyre with The Giving Tree.
That was my mom's favorite book. And it was, there's a movie with Mel Gibson where every time he comes by a particular book, he has to buy it. And it's a weird training thing that the government did to him so that way they can track.
Conspiracy theory.
Thank you. Conspiracy theory. Yeah, it was Catcher in the Rye, Joe Eyre. Thank you. It was like that with my mom for The Giving Tree. Anytime she saw it, she had to buy it. So she had multiple copies of The Giving Tree, and it's to this day. I always have copies of The Giving Tree in the house.
Joe Eyre just got flagged by the government for even saying that.
I'll drop a link in the Discord in the music section, George. This is a song you should check out. MC Lars did a song where he went over the plot of The Giving Tree.
Okay.
It's a rap and it's got Mac Lethal on it, and that I can only listen to that every once in a while just because that just gets the tears right out.
Yeah, please throw that into the music channel in the Discord, because I would
absolutely.
I'm love to listen to that. And yeah, Sammy, if you have not, the Giving Tree is like a Shel Silverstein. Was it Shel Silverstein?
Hold on.
Oh, Silver?
Yeah, okay. I'm walking through
Yes.
the book in my mind, and the art is definitely Shel Silverstein style art. Okay, great. We got a whole bunch of people agreeing. It is 30 pages, and it's all about sacrifice, and it will choke you up by the end of it about parenting. If there's probably so many other things, I've never actually read a professional opinion of what that book's about, but yeah, to this day, it's about, in my mind, it's about what parents do for their kids. Okay.
What's the one I remember reading as a kid, and then I ended up buying for my cousin when she had her first kid? It's the one. It's with the mother and the son, and what the heck is it called? It's like repetitive. It's like something something something. My baby, you'll be. Where it's like the mother raising the little boy, and then the little boy grows up, and then he's taking care of his mother. I don't know. That one got me when I was little.
Oh my God. If Dance Panda was on, I think Dance Panda sent me that book, or I know the exact one that you're talking about, and it is so sad because it's about taking care of the kid, and then the mom needs to be taken care of, and that's when the son comes back and takes care of the mom. And it's Niagara Falls. I know exactly the book you're talking about when you say that.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but yeah. You're thinking,
Love You Forever. Oh, Jedi. Yeah. So that, also on that same note, so I have a lot of tattoos, and all of these tattoos are book related. This was the one that my daughter fell in love with, which was I love you to the moon and back.
Aww.
So I have all kinds of quotes, all up and down from all of my favorite books, and there's tattoos everywhere. But that was the big one that got things started. Was my baby girl loving I love you to the moon and back.
Good night, Lobster. Thanks for stopping in, bud. Sorry we pressed you.
Is that a Harry Potter quote next to it?
Yeah. So we've got I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good. Right there, you can there, and then it also says constant vigilance. If you remember from the 4th book of Harry Potter.
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. You know it, but other people may not know it. I'm gonna finish describing it. One of my favorite things was how amazing it was in the 4th book that the bad guy, I almost said Bilbo Baggins. It's not Bilbo. Barty Crouch Jr. is pretending to be Mad Eye Moody, and
spoilers.
It's 20 years old at this point, and this is in the 4th book. And here's the thing: is there are some people, like a huge part of what J.K. Rowling, not Rowling, I'm going to say it right, talks about constantly throughout the entire series is this like love of knowledge and being for or against the dark side. But what ultimately defeats Voldemort is that he wants knowledge, the knowledge necessary for the sake of power, as opposed to appreciating knowledge for what makes it so amazing, right? And you see that throughout the entire series, and ultimately that is what defeats Voldemort. But Barty Crouch Jr. can't help himself. When he is pretending to be Mad Eye Moody, he is one of the best teachers of Defense Against the Dark Arts they've ever had. He is fantastic.
Low bar.
I'm sorry? A low bar, you said?
Yes.
It's absolutely...
Technically, it's a ferret.
Technically, it's a ferret. The movie, I feel like, nailed the character perfectly. That was, what was that actor's name? He's in so many films, like Gangs Against New York.
The actual Mad Eye
Are we talking about David Tennant, or are we talking about...
Okay, Barty Crouch Jr. was David Tennant, who was playing Mad Eye Moody. The actor who plays Mad Eye Moody, though...
I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember.
The Irish actor from In Bruges.
Brendan
Gleeson. Thank you.
Yeah,
yes.
there you go.
So Brendan Gleeson was fantastic. Nails, I feel like. Actually, all of the casting. That is some of the best casting in any movie of all time. And
the
Brendan
only one
Gleeson,
I ever disagreed with was Gary Oldman.
Oh my gosh! As Sirius Black. It's, you know what's so tough is I didn't get into Harry Potter until I watched the first movie. And I was there at that point because I think that happened at the 3rd book. And I was there at the midnight release of every book from then on. until the seventh book was released. And I also didn't sleep in the seventh book. We were there at the midnight release, and I stayed up for, I think it was 16 hours or something like that before I finished it, and became such a Harry Potter. Okay, cool. We're right there with each other. Absolutely loved that series, but because I didn't start reading it until I saw the first movie, it's weird. I allowed the characters, even though I saw the movies well after the books came out, I allowed the characters from the movies to ultimately drive the imagery that I see when I read a book.
So when the first movie came out, I think they were already up to the fourth or fifth book, and so when I read the third book,
okay,
I actually pictured have you ever seen The Mummy?
Yes, with Brendan Fraser.
Yes, I'm not talking about Brendan Fraser, but there's an actor in that movie called Oded Fair, and for some reason he is exactly who I pictured every time they talked about Sirius Black. And I know obviously they weren't going to cast him, but like I was like, Gary Oldman's a little bit old for the role.
Okay, I could see that. Wait, is Oded Frere? Is he the antagonist henchman? The guy who wears all the different necklaces?
He's the guy helping Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz.
Oh, the ultra British guy who.
No, not that guy. The guy, what is his name in the movie? He plays our death, but that doesn't really help. Crap. Pardon my language. He's like the guy that's helping them out, not her brother, but the other guy that's helping them out.
There was the third guy. Oh, wait a second. The one where he said, apparently he had a very good time. That guy?
I don't remember line for line. Sorry.
The Ancient Order dude. Oh.
Yes, Ancient Order dude.
Got it. He's the one who, oh God, what have we done? As the locusts are crawling all over his face.
No. I'm going to post something in Discord. Hold on.
You should post something to Discord, because now I'm like, I feel like I've named every character in the Mummy movie, and I'm really struggling to think of who it could be, except Brendan Fraser's best friend, who turns out to be the bad guy, or he ends up siding with the bad guy.
Okay, I'm posting a picture in the Discord.
Okay, hold up. I'm pulling it up. Oh my God, I completely forgot about him. Yes, he would have been a fantastic Sirius Black.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, cool. Yep. No, I forgot an entire character from that movie.
And to bring it full circle, I always thought Ewan McGregor would have been a great Remus Lupin.
Oh, sure. Yeah, he would have been a great Lupin. Well, he's also a big name. Like, the cool thing about the guy that you just referenced is I imagine at this point, or at any point in his life, he would have been a very easy hire. but Ewan McGregor, that's a pretty big name to pull into Harry Potter, which was already filled with some of the biggest acting names ever. There's
already plenty of big names in
That's a really good point. Like, who wouldn't want to be a part of Harry Potter?
Like, Harry Potter, Doctor Who, they've hired literally every actor that works in the UK.
Yeah, no.
Twice.
Yeah, twice. Well, which is funny, by the way, my last two questions for the evening, and we are almost at midnight, so we're gonna finish this up, are Harry Potter related, which is, which teacher at Hogwarts would you want to teach you? And then the other one you can be thinking of at the same time is, which house would you think you'd be sorted into?
Gryffindor.
Okay,
and
Gryffindor
McGonagall.
for Sammy. Okay, that's easy. So you want not transposition,
Figuration.
transfiguration. Thank you. Okay.
I think she'd be the best teacher.
Okay. Jedi McMuffin is going Snape, by the way. So Jedi wants potions. Bad teacher, but excellent at his job, I think is a good way of describing Snape. Right?
I would be a Ravenclaw.
Okay.
And I'd want Flitwick.
Okay.
We're just all picking our head of house.
Well,
Yeah.
I struggle with choosing between Ravenclaw or Slytherin.
George, you
Because-
got Matt Hufflepuff energy.
You do have mad Hufflepuff energy.
But I am ambitious.
Yes.
And I also value intelligence over almost everything else.
Well, so did Cedric, and look what happened to him.
You are also like extremely kind.
Okay.
So like
No, keep going.
and
Keep going.
You care about other people. So I'm on the Hufflepuff train with you.
Okay. And I also would have gone Flitwick, actually, the charms teacher, right?
Whenever
was-
you ask someone that question, no one ever says, I'd be a squib.
Very well. Nobody or a Muggle. No one's ever like, oh yeah.
Realistically speaking, I'd be a Muggle probably. So.
Yeah, no, there's no question. I'd definitely be a Muggle. Higher Peanut. I'd be a Ravenclaw or Slytherin if I found some Eldritch knowledge. We need more ancient Eldritch knowledge. You can't study more charm, George.
Giant snake living in the basement you can only summon by hissing at it doesn't count as Eldritch knowledge.
That's interesting. He didn't have to work for that, is the thing. So it's not knowledge. It was like innate power. It's a gift.
It was thanks to Voldemort.
It was very thanks to Voldemort. Well, is it thanks to Voldemort? He was cursed, I feel like, by Voldemort at that point. Also, I gotta finish reading that.
He wouldn't be able to get down there if he didn't have the ability.
Wait, say that again?
He never would have been able to get to the Chamber of Secrets if he didn't have the ability, but as it turns out, apparently it's something you can just pick up. Because in the 7th book, Ron gets them down there to get the Fang by just mimicking what you heard Harry saying.
Yeah, they just have the Fang, right? Like, so
it's not even a matter of needing to know. It's as long as you can get the gist of the sound right.
That's a very excellent plot hole you've just pointed out.
That is a pretty good plot hole. Ravenclaw and Hagrid, says Chaotix. I'd live just to have cool pets. Love. Okay, got it. No,
We're
live and
not
love.
racist against snakes, okay? We were just very concerned that Justin was going to get bitten because Harry didn't know what he was doing.
QDL is definitely Ravenclaw. Probably Lupin for a teacher. Very humble and relatable.
Oh, that's a good one.
Works
You'd only
well
have
to
him for
convey
1
his
year,
knowledge
though.
to others.
I
You
know.
don't get him for a year. And even then, Snape would have to sub in when he was a werewolf.
Yeah, okay, well,
Snape's
no.
the worst.
Assuming, let's assume it's just 1 year. And I have to
Sorry.
change mine, because I just talked about how much I thought Barty Crouch Jr. was an amazing teacher. I'd have to go with Barty Crouch Jr. as the best defense against the dark arts teacher.
But he's pretending, he's channeling his inner Alistair Moody.
And he's technically breaking the law.
Yes, also that.
Still did a great job of teaching. Like, Harry wouldn't
He
be
didn't
able...
teach Neville. He mentally tortured him and then gave him an herbology book to help Harry cheat.
That's actually pretty solid, yeah. He
I
literally
think Lupin
tortured
wins in this one.
Lupin is, there's without a doubt, Lupin is an amazing teacher. Nobody
He's
went
always
Dumbledore,
got
by the
chocolate.
way.
I mean, that helps, but that wasn't what I was thinking.
Which is
Like,
funny. I read
Practical
a...
lessons.
I'm sorry?
Nothing.
Mr.
Nobody went Dumbledore, which I think is kind of funny because I saw a meme the other day, which was Dumbledore does what he does best. Leave teenagers to solve the problems.
Dumbledore's the worst.
I do think Dumbledore is actually the worst.
Winning. Slytherin looks like it's winning. 150 points to Gryffindor. Huh, what a good idea. 10 points to Dumbledore.
Here's this like possibly like world-threatening catastrophe of a situation. Let me turn this tiny child into a human weapon. That's going to solve the problem. But yes, Teacher of the Year.
Yeah, nobody went Dumbledore, I think, for good reason.
You're sending him off to the slaughter? It's 50-50. He might live.
He might. There's
No.
a good
It's not even that.
chance.
He knew he had to die. Dumbledore knew he had to die, and he orchestrated it. Dumbledore's the worst.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a side question for y'all. That potion in the cave with the boat, what do you think that tasted like?
The way that Dumbledore was responding and how much he likes lemons, I'm thinking he's not a fan of... What's the opposite of lemon? Would that be tart? Brooklyn Pin, New Coke.
Sour? That'd probably just be sweet.
Yeah, so I'm guessing it was just like overly sweet.
It's like Fresca.
Yeah, or like an orange soda or something like that. I do love that new Coke.
You're telling me I mean, I know what was going on was in his head and it was drudging up dark memories, but you're telling me the potion he drank tasted like Sunkissed?
Yes, exactly.
It
Sunkissed.
sounds refreshing and delicious.
Old
So
ground Pez
irresistible,
juice.
you can't keep a bottle.
Oh, Chaotix, there you go. It tasted
Orange
like
love has
tab.
got a crush on us.
QDL saying warm root beer.
Root.
No, yeah.
Root.
Well, here we go with the root.
Root beer. It's
Hey,
weird
Frank,
because I can
More
say
like good sarsaparilla.
it's not. It's Route 66. It's root beer, and you obviously walk on the roof of a house. I have no idea why I pronounce things this specifically.
Because you've lived in a lot of different regions.
I would not drink a roof beer.
Is it the root of a tree or the root?
It is a root of a tree. Definitely not a root of a tree.
It's a cousin of sarsaparilla.
Is it a square root?
No, square root. No question. It's square root.
There's no consistency here.
There's
We're taking
none.
the square root.
It's the square root of 4 is 2. It's not the square root of 2. That sounds. Yeah, I got nothing.
What have
The
you got against
same
the square root?
word.
Is there any grammatical? Am I saying this correctly? Probably not. Grammatically correct way to use the word root? Is that used anywhere? For anybody else?
That sounds like a
Jordan.
very New Jersey pronunciation. Because they say bury instead of berry.
Yeah, like
Bury.
the only thing I can think is rut, but it's not pronounced the same way.
Bury
All
the
you
body?
do is bury them, no problem.
Okay. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. There was very little pinball. Surprisingly, we almost got to the end on one of the, I think, 4 games we played.
Didn't you have one more question?
No, we answered both of them, I think.
Well, yeah, it was what teacher at Hogwarts would you want and which house would you be sorted into? And that
you sandwiched them together.
I did, but that was all 10 questions. We made it through everything tonight. You should all give yourselves pats on the back.
Golf claps.
Sammy, did you come up with any question? Or?
Oh shoot! I forgot I was supposed to come up with a question.
Oh.
Oh no, I have one. Okay. So baseball is going back to baseball, but you don't have to know about baseball. It's just inspired by it. So the San Francisco Giants are raising money in the month of May for mental health awareness and for mental health causes. They're doing Mustache May, and they're selling a T-shirt and so whatever. But their coach, their manager, is saying that and I am not qualified to answer this question, so I'm asking you guys. He's saying a full beard that includes a mustache counts as a mustache, and his teammates disagree with him. But if you have a full beard that includes a mustache, doesn't that mean you are participating in Mustache May because you have a mustache too? Discuss amongst yourselves, people who can grow beards and mustaches. Possibly.
So, okay.
As someone with a beard and a mustache, I'm going to agree with him, because if you've ever seen someone with a full beard but without the mustache, it looks, and here's my one non-sexual use of an F-bomb per PG-13 episode, it looks fucking weird.
Thank you for prefacing with the one non-sexual use of the F-bomb. Thank you. So wait, is the thing that you have to shave off the mustache? So anybody that shaves their beard and mustache, or do you just have to have
the
both?
point is growing a mustache for the month of May. And so he's saying because he has a full beard that includes a mustache, he is technically participating in Mustache May.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But
I'd allow
the
that.
players disagree.
That's
They're making
interesting.
$1 million a year. What are they complaining about?
Okay,
The players
Joe is
want him
saying,
to look like Magnum PI, apparently, in order to actually.
I kind of do too.
I mean, he's the most attractive manager in Major League Baseball, so like I can see them trying to take him down a peg. Like, you're probably right.
It's interesting. No, Chaotix is making a point here. I have a goatee and don't consider myself having a mustache. Similarly, like if I got rid of this down here and just kept it up there, I would call it a mustache. But otherwise, it's a goatee.
You've got all of the things. You've got the full up. He's got the whiskers down the like the sideburns down to the whole beard, down to the actual beard and the mustache included. He does technically have a mustache, right?
Yes,
or does it
yes.
not count anymore if it's connected to a beard? I don't know. I'm not a man.
I'm
It totally
landing on
counts.
if you have the whole package, it does count because you can get rid of the beard and still have a mustache.
Right.
Does that mean
But, no.
does that mean a Sasquatch doesn't have a mustache? Of course he does.
No, but no, it's not a
built in.
mustache unless
The
it's
Sasquatch is a
solo.
full mustache.
It's a beard, and then if you get rid of everything else, it becomes a mustache.
So we're saying a mustache means only a mustache, nothing else attached to it.
I don't think that's what we're saying. I guess
I'm allowing it to have attachments.
Oh wait, whoa! Chaotic says mustache, a strip of hair left to grow above the upper lip. Now that doesn't
But having
say
hair below the upper lip doesn't negate the hair that's there above the lip.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That would be my assumption.
Now, if you have the kind of beard-mustache combo that goes into your sideburns and up into your hair, at what point does it just stop being your head of hair?
That's interesting. If it connects to your sideburns, which goes into your hair,
Is
because
that not
it's facial
just
hair? Yeah.
No, I am in no way qualified to talk about facial hair, so
I have a question. Could you grow, if you are bald but you wanted hair, and you could grow a really good beard, could you do a comb over with that?
It's not a Saturday Night Live episode. I think it's a Kids in the Hall maybe episode, or one of those. No, it's In Living Color. About specifically that, where a guy did a comb over with nose hair.
that was Jim Carrey, wasn't it?
I think it may have been Jim Carrey. Yeah, like it was uncontrollable nose hair growth that happened at a business meeting, and he kept trying to find interesting ways to get rid of it and make it look okay, and eventually, yeah, it goes crazy.
I wonder if that was based off of somebody they actually knew.
I hope so.
I hope nobody has that problem IRL. but-
True, yes. I hope that's not an actual
It sounds like a
problem.
solution.
You guys, thank you so much again for hanging out. That's an amazing question. I love that.
Good. I'm glad to help.
Thanks for having me, George.
Yeah. Thank you, iSkidoo, Sammy Higgins, and I Only Seek Eurydice. We also had on this evening Dance Panda and Joe Hills. Am I forgetting anybody else?
Nope, that was all of us.
That's all who was here when I got here.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, so much for hanging out. Make sure that you are following iSkidoo, I Only Seek Eurydice, and Sammy Higgins. Sammy, thank you again for that monster raid and bringing all those people over here. I'm so sorry we lost a bunch due to a weird internet issue halfway through. But
I lost
still,
a bunch due to being me, because I think Joe, when he got to me, I had 500 people, and then they saw me, and they're like, no, we're out. But thanks to Joe for that raid, because Joe raided me, and then I brought everybody over here, and we just kept the party going.
Yeah, we just kept it going. Thank you again so much.
You didn't have to bring them here, so thank you.
It's a mutual admiration society.
Exactly.
There we go.
We're all having a good time.
And I feel like I don't have anything else. Yeah, more questions. Monday nights here are super fun. We'll be back on tomorrow. We're going to rotate things out. I think it's either going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Rush tomorrow night with, I think, actual pinball gameplay. And we have some fun stuff coming up. Hopefully something very unique coming up this weekend. I'm trying to make something interesting happen. And season 2 of Iron Pinball will be coming up very shortly here. Just lined up, I think, 3 matches, getting everything aligned schedule-wise. So that's going to be remote participants, and then also something kind of fun is going to be a physical battle here in-house between 2 amazing pinball players in the very near future. Once again, just have to get the dates and times dialed in, but all of that's happening in the near future. Thank you again, everybody. Have a great night, and thank you again so much, Sammy Higgins, I Only Seek Eurydice, and iSkidoo for joining us this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, George.
Thanks for having us.
I still have not put the commercial on the Stream Deck. I should do that now while I'm thinking of it. We'll be right there to the commercial now, and then we'll raid somebody.
Have you been inundated with ads and questions related to TPN's now famous homemade pinball pudding line of puddings? Questions like,
TPN's pinball pudding is so good, it must be illegal, right?
What the fuck is pinball pudding?
How can a collection of content creators also be a pudding? That makes no sense.
And we hear you. You want to know what makes TPN so special? The answer is in TPN's secret ingredient. Simply proof. Other puddings may say they have it too, but watch as they're unable to back those statements up.
Well, I'm not a crook.
Do we have evidence of that?
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Evidence? Evidence?
Richard, do I have a mark on my face? Right here. Not here or here so much, but right here.
That's evidence. Again, request for more evidence.
You can't handle the truth.
Do we have evidence of that?
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody.
Evidence?
Sought TDI clean diesel with up to 814 highway miles per tank.
Do we have evidence of that? Evidence?
Isn't it time you gave TPN's famous homemade pinball pudding line of puddings a try? And check your local retailers for these amazing original and fantastic new flavors from TPN's famous homemade pinball pudding line of puddings. You asked and we listened. Each TPN pinball pudding package is packed with our special ingredient. The proof is truly in the pudding.